going green has been a widely debated option to replace NCS drilling.
America's dependency for oil is a crisis that will not be resolved easily. Getting oil from foreign countries or from offshore drilling can be thought of as an effective short-term solution. However, eventually there will come a time when the fossil fuel market drops. Experts have opinions on how long oil production will last, but realistically, there is no accurate way to know when the oil sources will deplete. When this day comes, if America is not prepared for a transition, then there will be some serious problems. The debate is about finding different sources of energy to replace oil, the benefits of these alternate sources of energy provided compared to oil, and how the transition to alternative energies will affect the economy.
There are many companies that have already started the transition from oil to alternative energies. Many of these forms of energy use the sun, water, wind, or heat. An early attempt to spark green energy is the electric and hybrid vehicles in the transportation industry. In this case, the motors used for gasoline-powered cars only utilize 25% of the energy, while electric vehicles use 90% of the energy. This creates an advantage for electric vehicles because it allows the owners of electric vehicles to make more use of the energy that they get for their money. Even though this might seem more convenient than vehicles powered by oil, there is still the crisis of batteries in electric cars. Engineers are still struggling to make the batteries last longer, and when the batteries are worn out, they become highly toxic. This problem could cause an inconvenience for owners with electric cars because they are left with the problem of getting rid of their toxic batteries. Also, this provokes problems with environmentalists because putting the used batteries into dumps can cause harm to the environment. Along with the transportation industry, the use of alternative energy sources are being implemented all across the country. A well-used source would be nuclear energy created by fission reactions. Nuclear energy already produces 20% of the country's electricity, so it would not be difficult to transform from oil-created energy to nuclear-created energy. Although this transition would be easy, there are many skeptics towards nuclear energy because of its potential catastrophic accidents that nuclear power plants can cause. Also, if the country were to become dependent on nuclear energy over oil energy, nuclear power plants would become easy targets for terrorists. However, these problems are balanced by the fact that nuclear power plants have hardly any atmospheric pollution because there's no carbon dioxide emissions. This fact balances the erupted problems of potential dangers because it satisfies the demands given by environmentalists. Many companies, like the transportation industry and many of the nuclear power plants, are steps closer to the transition of bringing America to run off of alternative energies. The idea of a nationwide movement towards alternative energy is also thought of to help the economy. For example, the Political Economy Research Institute at the University of Massachusetts said that millions of U.S. workers across a wide range of familiar occupations, states, and incomes and skill levels benefit from the project of transforming the United States into a green economy. Many people around the world are pushing for our country to go green, not only for future problems, but also for the economy because of the slump that it is in. However, the idea of switching the United States to a green economy also provokes a negative opinion. According to the economists behind 7 myths about green jobs will in turn destroy millions of jobs. These economists believe that these so-called green jobs will instead promote jobs alone instead of productivity, leading to low-paying jobs. Not only is this a possibility, but if the country were to slowly transition to using alternative energy sources over oil, then what would happen to the GM companies and their workers? The fear behind this idea is that if everyone commits to change to green energy, then the old companies that made their money off oil would go bankrupt, and the employees would lose their jobs, which would hurt the economy even more.